can't. Oh my God. I'll pop one. My wife's gonna kill me, guys. This is the biggest card I ever pulled in my life. Oh my God. Let's go! One of one, Giannis. Holy
Auctions right now in the comments. Who wants to fire Jordan Poole?
What's going on, guys? This is the episode 2 of the Stepback Sports pod. It is Wednesday, November 13th? No, 11th. November 11th, 11/11. Have some good topics today. We'll be doing some viewers Q&As as well, not today, but for the next pod. We'll have some guests coming on, probably starting next week or the week after. So stay on the lookout for that. But today I'm going to get right into it. This past Sunday, we had our second ever card show setting up. It was a Sunday, so it wasn't as successful for me as it was for the first one, which was on a Saturday. In my opinion, I think it's due to NFL Sunday, church, and family time is usually what Sunday consists of. So I was also late, so that didn't help. But Justin, he made some good deals before I even got there. He sold some Lucas. I'll let him speak on that here in a second. But going back to the first show, it was very successful for me. I sold a lot of stuff. It was our first time setting up, so we were really anxious and excited to see how it went. We wouldn't know how, being in West Virginia, how many people were going to be there or how many guys were going to have deep pockets to spend money. But I sold one card. It was a Luka PSA 10 Pop 3 Chronicles rookie out of 99. I sold it for, I think it was $28.50. And the story behind that card is something I want to talk about. Is on our lunch break, I pulled that out of a $5 pack out of Walmart. Got it graded, so I spent like $12 to get it graded. Sold it for $2,850. A card that I was invested $15 in. So that's just an example of you can hit big out of these cheap packs, get them graded, grade well, and sell them at a card show for straight cash, as Randy Moss said. But I'll let Justin touch on his experience in the previous card shows, and we'll keep it going.
Yeah, it was weird. The first one was interesting to me because I didn't realize that it was going to be so many raw cards. Like I've been in such a grading mode. I have hundreds of slabs, as does Cody. So the first show I went with all slabs pretty much. I had nothing raw, and did okay. Sold some, but I watched everyone around me selling all kinds of 50 and under cards, $10 here, 15 here. They're wanting to get their own stuff graded. They don't want to pay graded prices. So this time I took a bunch of raw stuff, priced it all out. Even had some like inserts and rookies and stuff based, $1 to $5 range, and moved a lot. So my favorite thing about the shows is trading. Honestly, I trade up, I trade around, I trade different sports. I'll trade slabs for sealed wax. It's really cool. A lot of people there, it's a different form of currency, and people understand ballpark value. So you can really just swap around with whoever at the show, meet people. As we've met people at the show, I've learned who people are fans of, who people like. So I'm watching for that kind of stuff as I'm wheeling and dealing in other markets. I'm thinking about, okay, yeah, I got to get Caleb some rubies for the next show, and got to get the legend some post serial cards somehow. If anybody ever watches this and has some 1952 post serial, I don't even know if they were baseball. I don't remember what sport he said. But about it being on Sunday, this next one is actually Sunday again, December 6th. I'll bring up their page here. Of course, he's already posting about January, but I'm 99% sure that it's December 6th, which is also a Sunday this time. But the only difference, the crowd, definitely wasn't the same as a Saturday, but hopefully if people understand, because I don't know how many of them have ever been on a Sunday, because we've only been to the last three, and it was Saturday and then Sunday. But the first one before that we went to as just a buyer was Saturday too. So I really don't know if Sunday will catch on if it's consistent. But the next one is Sunday, December 6th. If it's different, I'll correct it on here. But I didn't see it on the page, but I know he posted it because I read that. Shout out Nathan, the guy who runs it all. If you guys want to join that page, keep updated on it. And set up, come by, bring your stuff. You don't even have to be a vendor. Bring your own box, trade. You know what I mean? Come with 5 slabs, sell some stuff. It's just a fun time. Just even look around and see what people's got.
And now that we've been to a few, guys kind of know us and know who we PC as well. Like at the last show, a guy brought over this nice tri-collar select rookie Ben Simmons True Gem. He knew I wanted it, brought it over to the table, and we made a deal. So that was one of my pickups, little tri-collar select rookie. I love select. I love Ben Simmons. So it's a win-win. Another trade I made, which was not at the show, was in with one of our members. Shout out Dylan Brown. Got a zebra stripe Allen Iverson. I don't know how you can see it on this screen with the glare, but the zebra stripe AI back at 9.5. Shout out Dylan Brown on that one. So yeah, Justin's more of a trader, but I made some trades as well. But he's out there at every table trying to trade stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this past show, I really didn't buy anything. There wasn't really anything that caught my eye. I always look for Ben Simmons, Trey, Bagley, guys like that. And the guy that usually has Bagley wasn't there this time. And so I didn't really buy much last show. I sold a little bit. It wasn't very successful for me as far as that standpoint goes, but we met more people, networked better, and just, it's always a win. No matter if you sell $4,000 or $400, it's still a win. It's more about the fun and networking and enjoying it.
Got business cards made and only brought a handful. Forgot to bring I actually bought a stand to set them in at the table and forgot to bring it, and we gave away all the ones we brought. But we're gonna, keep doing that, spreading. People following us on the socials, people seeing the first episode. Shout out to everybody who's watched it, liked it, subscribed, done anything, shared it. We appreciate all that. And the feedback we got. This episode should be better quality wise. First of all, let me move this cursor. That's one thing I noticed on the first one. I had this mouse sitting like right in the middle the whole time. I just now realized I did the same thing on this one. Let me move it out the way. But yeah, mic quality will be better on both sides. We'll keep getting better equipment and stuff as we go. But yeah, the shows, one really cool thing about them too is like pricing wise, you can get better deals because, even if you're not dealing on eBay, if you're dealing in Facebook or with friends or whatever in groups, you still got to pay shipping. Like you still have to pay whatever. There's some kind of fees, but in person, that's the best, cheapest deals you can get because they understand, all the vendors and sellers there understand that we're not going to charge you eBay prices. We're going to go under because if you sold it on eBay, you would not make that much because of the fees and the shipping and all that. So it's a really good place to make deals, and especially lots. People really hook you up there. So it's a good time.
Yeah, no, the first show, the first two we went to, I definitely got some good deals, and that's where I excel right there is the willing and dealing.
Deal.
But yeah, I mean the shows are great. We're excited to keep them going. I know not everyone's local. Most of the guys aren't local, but we do plan on expanding on shows and going to maybe some out of state shows, maybe the next national. We definitely plan on going to that. So we're definitely excited to keep the shows rolling. But to start talking about some sports cards, NBA season was announced December 22nd, 72-game season. Yeah, it's official. I'm pretty sure it's 100% official now. It's a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
Free agency and all that stuff starts in like a week or two. It's going to be like a 1-week process. So usually have a few months it dials down, but now due to COVID, the finals just ended like a month ago. And now we already know season's happening in like a month, and free agency and trades and everything else is happening really soon. So that dead time is really not going to exist for much longer, maybe another week. But once these trades start getting announced and free agency, people sign here, sign there, the hype starts again. The hype and all the hypotheticals, all that good stuff starts going on. People start to chatter. Prices go up due to opportunity or just, someone believes this guy gets traded here. Like if Giannis goes to the Heat or Giannis goes to the Warriors, I mean, people think I might be a guaranteed chip. So people will, stop bashing on Giannis because his last two playoff exits and start thinking, okay, he goes to this team. Now who's going to stop him? You can't just sit in the paint and wait for him because now he has Steph and Clay or he has, Harrow and Duncan. So it's going to be exciting to see. So prices will definitely be going back up again. Like, for example, I have a few right here. Like, Giannis prices went down, like, pretty drastically. LeBron and AD really didn't spike. And I don't really know why, but I think that everyone was, because all these new guys came in the hobby and these flippers, that people like to call them, and they stacked up on these cards. And I was hoping the second the Lakers win, I'm putting everything out there. So the supply was, at an all-time high, and a bunch of these guys, they need the money, so they're undercutting. Like, I'll say this LeBron for 210, next guy's 190, next guy's 170, and the comps are all over the place. Like, these cards, these LeBron red, white, and blue prisms, PSA 10s, they were going for $500+ a few months ago. I had three of them. I set on them, figured they'd keep going up. And they were like $500 a piece. Now they're like 175, 180. Like, Like LeBron didn't lose $300 of value. So I guess people were just undercutting everyone and just needing the money and making sales. So I'm not moving those for anything less than $300. So I'm just sitting on them for now until they go back up. But that's just one example of how prices fluctuate. And sometimes it doesn't make sense. Like, that LeBron makes 0 cents. He won a chip, another Finals MVP, and three of those are three teams, only one in NBA history, and his prices dropped. Like,
It's a
come on.
weird effect with the hype. Like if you actually look at Patrick Mahomes PSA 10 Prism rookie, they spiked before he won the Super Bowl, before he won. Then after he won, they went down. Like they were high. The highest is the hype. It's like all about like this potential. Oh, what could they do? Like I don't know what he could have done better than win a Super Bowl. Maybe set every Super Bowl record. Then maybe it would have went double. But like it is crazy. And the off season stuff will drop. As if LeBron gets less valuable in the offseason. But then all it takes is one game, LeBron to go out there and get a triple double or something, and it'll be all right back to going crazy.
Yeah, and a few things that I'm excited for is this past season, people forget guys. People forget Hall of Famers, the best to ever do it. The best shooter to ever walk this planet, Steph Curry. He didn't play last year. People forget about him. He played a few games, but people forget about Steph Curry. His prices have been kind of cheap for who he is. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, no debate. Maybe, top three his position ever. Maybe the best point guard ever. And some people believe that. He's definitely the best shooter ever, no debate there. His prices have been down. Kevin Durant, like probably the best bucket getter in NBA history. 7-footer who has the handles of a guard and, as a sniper from beyond the arc. Like, one of the meanest left hezzy pull-ups of all time. Like, he's GOAT status eventually. Kyrie Irving, the best ball handler of all time, one of the best shot makers, shot creators of all time, clutch, ice in his veins. Like, Kyrie's and KD are a little different. They have a lot of backlash off the court issues, his interviews and the stuff he says is just, very controversial. So his prices reflect that as well. So those are three guys I'm really hyped for: Steph, KD, Kyrie. People forget about them, and they're some of the best to do it and to ever do it. So I'm hoping them three come back healthy and just ball out this year. I have a lot of stuff in my collection of them, especially Steph. Some high dollar Steph stuff I'm looking to, maybe move in the near future, depending on how they do. I think the Warriors are a contender this year, and so are the Nets. So that's two teams, championship contenders.
And you don't even know what the Warriors are going to look like. They have all the options in the world. It amazes me how they always seem to be in such a good situation. Like, whether it's the ability to get KD and make that actually work financially on every level, and now the ability to maybe even get Giannis. Like, the Heat stopped Giannis by building a wall of three guys in the middle. You got so many options for him to give it to on either one of those teams with, like you said, Duncan, Harrow, Steph, Clay. That's just it's too much. Like, I can't wait for the trades because, like, we could talk hypotheticals all day, like James Harden going to Philly. Like, what does that look like? And there's who would they send for that? Does Morey want him over there? Is that really like a serious thing? Like, I don't even know. There's so many rumors out there of different people like Buddy Hield going here and there. Who else? Bradley Beal.
That's why it's kind of like too early to like discuss, and
Yeah.
the prices won't reflect it yet. But once that stuff becomes real, you'll see prices, fluctuate. You'll see all these hypotheticals, and stuff's going to get real crazy real soon, which will be a lot of good discussion on this pod. And you'll see the card prices reflect that. So that's exciting stuff too.
And something that will really be important if there's some big blockbuster trades is like this season is considered to have like a lower end draft class so far. Like there's not that much hype on the rookies. But if Giannis goes to the Warriors, then you got first year Warriors jersey, Giannis stuff. Any big player moves to a team, if you're new to the hobby, that is something that does sometimes make a difference, it seems. Like Anthony
For
Davis,
sure.
LeBron,
Mhm.
first year Laker cards, depending on how big the player is. Not Bradley Beal, first year Kings cards, it might not be that serious, but big name players make moves like that, and you get the first year unis. That's a big thing to watch for. So that could make these some of these sets a little higher value.
And some of the other things I'm excited for is so every rookie, like let's say a rookie from 17, 18. So we learned this. So, it's 2020. We're opening 17, 18 Spectra. We pull a rookie patch auto of a top five pick in that year, and it's like not worth anything because it's like, oh, this guy was a bust. But if you pull that in 17, 18, you'd be so excited. Like, because you think this guy's going to be great, top five pick, whoever it is. Let's say Markel Fultz, for instance. I mean, he might end up being decent, but if you pull that, RPA out of five in 2017, you think you have a gold mine. First pick in the draft, absolute bucket in college. And then you pull it in 2020, like, I'll sell to Justin for $20. Like, oh, well.
Do that.
But,
Any out of fives, I will buy all of them $20 flat out.
but like, these rookies have windows. Not, let's say Colin Sexton, for example. If Colin Sexton comes out this year and doesn't do much, Cavs are the 12th seed, don't do much again. He averages, 14, 15 a game on 40% shooting. See, people are buying Sexton right now, expecting, him to keep growing and keep going up. But you only have so long in the windows. Like, that window is getting, it's closing every year. You don't do much. So Sexton's a guy, Kevin Knox, like, Kevin Knox is a guy that I have been buying his stuff for cheap, not because I really believe in Kevin Knox. Like, I have no ties to Kevin Knox. But like, this is a car, for example, like out of 25, 9.5 rookie on card auto, $12. Like, you can't lose on that. I bought his Prism PSA 10s for $9. Okay, I bought like 10 of them for $9 a piece. I don't think I can lose them. You can't get a card graded for $9. I'm getting PSA 10 Prisms for $9. Like, I don't know. I don't say I believe in Kevin Knox. Don't go out and buy Kevin Knox. All Cody said about Kevin Knox. Sometimes deals are too good to pass up, and I just can't pass them up. But like, there's plenty of guys like that. Like this year's draft class, DeAndre Hunter, Darius Garland, Jarrett Culver, Rui, Cam Reddish, Cam Johnson, PJ Washington, Sekou, all these guys who were on bad teams who weren't relevant. We think they're going to be good players, and people buy them right now for hype. However, if those guys don't do much this year, if you're holding on to 100 cards of Rui Hachimura, and the Wizards are 10th seed and Rui doesn't do much again, your time's running out on moving that Rui. But on the flip side, guys like Giannis, first 2 or 3 years in the league, didn't really do much, and then it took off. So there's a fine line you got to play there, but it's really exciting, especially the card game, like fantasy football. Like you'll catch me watching a Raiders versus Dolphins game on a Sunday because I have Josh Jacobs on fantasy. I don't care about the Raiders or Dolphins, but like if you have them in the sports card game, I might be watching a Knicks and Kings game because I might have some really nice Bagley and some really nice Kevin Knox. So I might be watching a Kings versus Knicks game on NBA League Pass just for my card collection and possibly making money. It's really keeps you interested in the league, and every game truly matters in that instance. But it's really exciting.
And in the same vein, like players that might not have been good their first or second year, they might come in on a trade. Like, look at Jimmy Butler. Like, we all knew Jimmy Butler was good, but look in the Heat environment with that team, what he was capable of doing, and really showcase his talent. So, some player who might not have gotten minutes or might not got to play the way he is best suited to play during the minutes he did get, gets in a different situation, different team, different coach, different system, and shows out and goes crazy. And because the window for them to show out is so small, that's what makes it so tempting and viable to short term most of your stuff. If someone has a good month, they get player of the month in the East or something, you know what I mean? And they're not like, that's not something they normally do. Move that stuff if it's not someone you believe in long term or someone you're skeptical about. I just don't long term hold everybody, but don't short term flip every. I mean, I personally don't think you should short term flip everybody either. I think you should have like at least a handful of pieces that you are holding on to long term, because that could be the biggest profit. Like if you're a Zion person and you have 10 slabs, sell 8 of them, but like keep 1 or 2, because what if he gets a couple titles and is a LeBron type of player, takes care of that big fat body and doesn't wear Paul George shoes anymore and actually doesn't get injured anymore and shows out for 10 years, gets a couple rings, then the same card you might have flipped for $2,000, you might flip for 20 down the road and pay for your kids' college or something like it. It's just a fun game to play both ways.
Yeah, I mean, no one truly knows, and that's the beauty of it. Is I mean, like I said, I bought a bunch of Kevin Knox cards, and I might have wasted $100, but like I really can't lose at the prices I buy them. I can't lose. Like now, I'm not going to go out there looking for Kevin Knox cards and paying hundreds of dollars for like singles. If I can pay $9 for a card, you can't even get it graded for that. That's a no-brainer for me. Like I don't even like Kevin Knox. I could care less about what Kevin Knox does, but that investment makes me want to watch Kevin Knox and analyze Kevin Knox and see what happens. Like now, I do like Bagley, so that's why I have a lot of Bagley stuff. There's several guys that there's some of those mid-tier guys like Cam Reddish and RJ. I have a briefcase here full of Cam Reddish and RJ. PSA 10s and 9s of Silver Prisms and Silver Scope Select and Optic Hollows and etc. A lot of SPs and their PSA 10s. But Reddish and Barrett could, not do anything. And I'm out a good, decent bit of money because I invested a good chunk in those two guys while their prices were down. They weren't, $9 down like, Kevin Knox is, because Kevin Knox is at that second, third year of not doing anything. Cam and RJ just had 1 season. They're both on bad teams, but it's a fun game. 2 guys that I'm holding, or a few guys that I'm holding that are in that mid-tier, like Brandon Ingram. BI's a absolute bucket, baby KD. And he showed this year, I mean, he's a volume scorer, but he showed this year that, he's legit. I mean, he's here to stay. Very, very good scorer. And that Pelicans team is an upcoming team. Like, I have a bunch of nice Kevin Knox, but Brandon Ingram, like gold. I mean, that's out of 5, rookie patch. He's one guy I believe in. Justin and myself both believe in De'Aaron Fox. Like Justin probably has more Fox stuff than I do. I have a few high-end Fox stuff, like this gold out of 5 rookie auto, like BGS 9. And it's, only 5 of those in the world. I'm not selling that yet because I think Fox and the Kings, personally, I like Bagley too. So that duo, if they can stay healthy, is a good team. Another guy, SGA for the Thunder. He blossomed this year. Like when he was in the Clippers, now no one really cared. Like, we pulled his rookie autos last year. Oh, well, just as whoever this guy is. Like, and then he got traded to the Thunder, a different opportunity, and now Chris Paul just believes this guy's going to be, a stud for 10 plus years. We have plenty of his 9.5 out of 10 rookie autos, like some high end stuff of these guys that I'm not selling yet. Now the hype is there. There's guys who are looking for all 3 of these guys because the hype is there, but it's only hype right now. They've done well, they haven't done great. So I'm waiting until they do great. If they never do great, well, now I might have been able to sell it this month for X amount of dollars. And one of them get injured or that next one just shoots 20% from the floor first 2 months of the year, I'm out some money. But I'll just hold until hopefully they go back up. But it's just a fun game I play, and Justin has several he's going to talk about as well.
Yeah, a couple guys like that are kind of floating that I'm watching that I've invested in. Start with Devontae Graham, one of the shorter guys. I sent in a bunch of his rookies to PSA. I can't really see it that well. That's a Revolution 10. Yeah, Devontae's in
out of
case.
5.
See, he got the bigger hits. I got all the like weird little parallels and different hits like that. Can't really see that too well, but that's the Aqua status. See, a lot of these are, even though they're lower end, quote unquote, they're not big hits on RPAs. They're really low pop. Like that Aqua status, I think it's like only two or three of them. I don't know about this one, but I sent in a bunch of these and I got all 10. So PSA likes Devontae Graham. If you got any Devontae's, they'll give you some good grades. And then this guy, this is an example of somebody who I invest pretty heavily in because one, I recognize his talent. Two, he's marketable. He's got a song with his name as a Billboard charting song. Like people know his name even though they don't even know who he is. And third, it's my team. So like I believe in him. I don't know why our coach chooses to play Kim Birch and not give Mo minutes. I'm sure there's a reason. They're building his muscles in the back or something is going on. But a couple Mo Bamba cards. The white select out of 10. I mean, not out of 10. PSA 10, but out of 149. That's the select rookie. Try to get rookies from like all different sets. There's the Chronicles blue PSA 10. This is the card, the Luca that Cody told the story of that he sold for 2,800. This is the exact same card except Mo Bamba.
And that's what's
So
crazy is, the same card of just two different players is just, drastic value.
yeah, like this one is only worth like 2 grand right now, but it'll be worth
Oh,
about five when the Magic win the title. So like that's a good
he,
one.
he couldn't get $200 for that card, guys. Just by the way,
Anybody wants to buy it, you know what I mean? Just hit me up. And then this is just a little rookie sig, that I sent in, got a 10 on. Lower end set threads, but not a lot of 10s of that one either. So lots of like players like that I believe in that are young, that are just kind of. I mean, both those guys are pretty new, same draft class, 18, 19. Older than that, 17, 18. I mean, Fultz, I PC the absolute crap out of Fultz. I'm not even going to get my stuff out. Like, I have like 5 PSA 10 silver rookies, prisms. I got like probably 20 base prism PSA 10s. I got autos and slabs and patches from like all different sets. Like one day I will go through my faults, but it's gonna take some time. So I don't even have one to show. But like somebody he was talking about kind of other players like aren't necessarily stars, but what you have to remember, like Kevin Knox, somebody out there likes Kevin Knox. They have some kind of personal connection to him, liked him in college or whatever. Like one player like that for me is Steven Adams. I personally think Steven Adams is super underrated. I pulled this card out of Absolute, 5-color patch out of 25. I got a 9. I'm happy with it. This isn't for sale. Like this is for me. Like it's a memory. I remember pulling this in my truck like before. I didn't even really have supplies when I pulled this back then. Like stuff like that. I sent in like I got his cracked ice, gold, his Don Russ. Like pretty much any Steven Adams is numbered or a hit that I have pulled, or some of these I've even bought. But I got a little Steven Adams PC just because he's the man. Like I know he's not gonna probably ever go up in value or be some kind of like superstar, but who knows? It's under win a title or something. He is a part of it. I'll have a lot of value there, but not everyone you collect should be about value unless you're just solely in this for money. But if you're a fan of somebody, get some of their stuff. Like it's fun to have a diverse collection because you never know what could happen. Steven Adams get traded to the Lakers for some reason, and then he gets a ring, and then his stuff goes up, and you're like, oh, win-win. I'm a fan. I got his stuff, and it's valuable. Okay. Thon Maker would be another one that I can't show right now. I got too much.
like someone like Markelle Fultz, and he was the number 1 draft pick. Okay, this is just 2 years ago.
Unanimous.
The number 1 draft pick, and he went through the Monstars, took his powers, and he was pump faking free throws, and got all kinds of slander for a year and a half. Went to the Magic, did okay, and he showed spurts of playing well. I'll give him that credit for Justin. He showed spurts of him playing well. Jumper's still not very good, but someone who's been that talented and was drafted first overall, his stuff is really cheap. Justin has absolutely stockpiled it. So that's a player who, if you would have bought at the right time when he's getting all this slander, people give up on him already, just dump his stuff off. Justin's the one that's taking it all. And if Markelle Fultz turns it around, gets healthy, gets a consistent jumper, and does really well, let's say he's makes an All NBA third team or something, top 30 players in the league at one point. Justin's going to have a ton of value there. And that's the fun part of it. You find guys who people were hating on or giving up on, and you take them. Like one of my guys is Bagley now. I don't have as many Bagley as Justin has Fultz, but like Bagley, he was a number 2 pick. I'm pretty sure number 2 pick. And he's been hurt and injured and hasn't really done much, but he showed spurts of greatness. Now, I personally like his game, so if he doesn't do anything ever, I like Bagley.
Greatness.
So, Bagley's a guy who I kind of believe in and think he'll do well with the Kings. I mean, him and Fox are 2 studs. But that's just kind of, if you're only in it to make money, you won't last long. I mean, as far as, you get burnt out. You have to enjoy it. We both enjoy it. We both collect our guys, and we have guys we collect for our PC, for short-term, long-term, etc. That's what makes it fun. It's really just a game inside of a game, and that's just the beauty of it, and we've really grown to love it.
And back to the show, I met a guy at the show who plays the game so different that it blew my mind. I wish I remember his name. I shout him out. If you ever see this, comment or tag or something, whatever.
Which one is it?
The LeBron Revolutions guy.
Oh, Jamie. Yeah, Jamie.
Jamie, yeah, okay.
I think it's McCarthy, something like that.
Shout out Jamie, you see this, shout out you. But so like I personally, my philosophy on the game is diverse. Like I have roughly 20 players that I have 10 or more slabs of, from Trey, Luka, Ja Zion, all the top guys, down to the next level, Michael Porter Jr., SGA, Devontae, Mo Bamba, Jonathan Isaacs, all these people. It makes not only the card game more exciting because I have all these different people who have chances to go off and do things and get hot, and I can move them. So any given week, somebody I have is probably hot. Like whereas Jamie, his strategy was completely different, but way more viable than mine, way less risk. He bought 600 LeBron James Revolution base card. I'm about to bring one up just to show because I know what this card is. He bought 600 of these and got them graded, and got like how many tens did he say? Like at least 500 of them were tens, maybe even more than that. And then he got them for $2 a piece, he said, buying them in lots roughly. So his investment at the time when he sent them in, they were $9 or $10 a piece to get them graded. So now there's a PSA 10. This year's $85, $86. Roughly, he was telling me 80 to 100. Let me sort this by recently. Oh, that is recently, okay. So yeah, so every one of those roughly would be, let's say, a $15 investment max with shipping and everything. Turning 15 into 85 600 times. So you do the math on that profit margin, and just one card. He didn't have to worry about no players, nothing. He just bought a ton of one card and flipped them and made a ton of money. And I would have never thought to play the game that way. That's the profit, or that's the
profit.
Yeah.
If you sold 550 tens,
yeah,
for $100.
That's how, and that's a base card. That's not an auto. That's not number. That's not even a parallel. That's just a regular LeBron James base. First year Lakers uni. That's the only significance to it as far as cultural relevance or anything. And it's just awesome. I love it. But I like to diversify. I want to have all kinds of players, all kinds of sports. Not all kinds of sports really, just like basketball, football, and UFC. But players, different teams, different options as far as who to get hot makes the game more exciting, and it makes the sport more exciting to watch if you watch it or if you play 2K.
Yeah, I like too many NBA players to just do one or two guys. Now my PC, obviously, y'all know who that is: Kobe White, Melo, AI, Trey. I'm probably Ben Simmons, UNC players really, but
what's that? What's this year's draft kid? Cole? You gotta get
Anthony.
Cole Anthony.
He was injured a lot for Carolina, so I really didn't. He wasn't. He's a Tar Heel, but he's not
He's like another Marcus Page.
In my heart, he's not like a true Tar Heel.
He's another Marcus Page who just kind of flash in the pan kind of player, one hit wonder kind of guy.
Marcus Page is the guy. Um, but like, there's a lot of players that we just now I'm not a big Giannis guy, but I have some big Giannis cards that I'm not selling right now. Like this, quad patch auto out of 25. Like now, maybe like 8 months, 6 months ago, I probably could have got when he won MVP, whatever, however long it was, 3 months ago, I could have made some money. This one of one,
That's in the
one of
intro. That's the one in the intro they pulled, and he got it graded, got a 9.
one of one. Like I'm not, I really don't like Giannis. Like I mean, I don't dislike Giannis, but I don't love Giannis. But I think he's gonna keep getting better and better and better because his physical gifts are there. You can't ask for much more. He's like 6'10". I mean, Jack now, super athletic, 1 foot, 2 foot. Second bounce is super, super quick. But a guy I do like, who I think is going to be an NBA superstar and be a top 5 player in the league at some point in his career. Justin hates on him, but is Jason Tatum. Like, I mean, I have some. This is a gold RPA out of 10. Like, I have some big Tatum. I have like 6 of these RPAs. There's another one, the pink, out of 25. Like, but I'm not selling these. I'm gonna send these to Beckett, get them graded, and just hold them. Because I truly believe Jason Tatum, barring injuries, will be a top 5 player in the league at some point in his career. I could be dead wrong. He could tear his ACL first game of the year, never be the same, and just be a rotational player the rest of his career. Or he could stay healthy, win some chips in Boston, or if he goes anywhere else, and be great. So you can't predict. As long as you're having fun and choosing guys you like or truly believe in, you really can't lose unless you're spending like your check every week and all the money you have in the bank buying cards. That's just not being smart with it. But if you're being smart with your money and you have some extra cash to dabble in certain players or certain sports, you really can't lose. Have fun with it, enjoy it, meet a ton of great guys, and just see what happens. I mean, we've both made money, we both lost money. At the end of the day, we're both up, and we've had a great time doing it. So you really can't lose.
100%. Let's talk about this upcoming class a little bit. The main thing that's changed to me since everything has been started getting closer to draft and now we got a date is like before I feel like all I heard about was LaMelo. It was like LaMelo was going to be number 1, and now everything I'm hearing, whether it's rumors that he botched his interviews or people just don't like what he's bringing to the table for whatever reason, don't think he's going to fit. I'm hearing he might not even go like top 3. Like I don't I don't watch college ball, so I'm just now getting familiar with these players. I'm seeing the contenders draft picks, cards coming out. I've seen a couple one-on-ones. I've watched videos and highlights and started to familiarize myself with them. But to me, none of them seem like true standouts. Like none of them seem like game-changing players. So I don't know. It's gonna be real interesting to see. Like Wiseman, especially his pick. Like he can't really fit on the Timberwolves. Do the Warriors want a big? Like, will they invest in him? Use him?
The Warriors said that they want Wiseman,
Oh, did they? Oh,
but
okay.
the T-Wolves, Wiseman said he doesn't want to go there because he has Cat there, so like he
Yeah.
can't. But like with this draft class, the reason people were hating on it, and like, well, there's two reasons. One, there's a lot of unknowns. We didn't get to play college basketball. We didn't have a March Madness. No one really knew who John Morant was until March Madness. Now you have you knew, maybe heard of, oh, he's pretty good. But March Madness, he's dropping like 30. For Murray State beating these guys, I mean, dunking on people in March Madness. That's where he truly made his name. Um, guys like Carson Edwards, obviously he's not really relevant in the NBA right now, but he took everyone by storm in March Madness for Purdue, hitting 35 footers. We didn't get that this year, so we didn't get to see Wiseman. She was suspended, or whatever. Anthony Edwards, a volume scorer. You have guys like Halliburton, who we really haven't got to see play, at the big stage and prove himself. Like Obi Toppin, I think he played for Dayton. Dayton's not really that great of a team, but if he's in the tournament and you got to see these guys make big plays, shine in the big moments, you really might believe in this guy. But we didn't really get to see a full season that we normally do. So there's a lot of unknowns. Not that these guys, aren't good, Um, but however, the last 3 years have been so good. It's a high bar. I mean, Tatum and Fox and all those guys we already mentioned. Mitchell, and you have Trey and Luca. And then this year has just like seems like everyone's great or everyone has potential to be great. And then we get hit with COVID and don't get to see these guys play. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm looking at the top 10 mock draft. I don't know who Isaac Okoro is. He's projected the ninth pick. I know Killian Hayes, Obi Toppin, Halliburton. I don't know who Denny, some foreign play. I don't know where he even played at.
Oh yeah, that there. I watched. He was in one of the videos I watched. He's kind of like a foreign white European Luca style player, like not like a real Luca, like a Kmart Luca, but like still, that type of player.
I don't know. Obviously I know who Cassius Winston is from Duke and Cole Anthony, but those guys projected the bottom five of the first round. Um, but like these top guys, we haven't really got to see these guys play. So
That list
it's
have
not
Anthony Edwards first. You're looking at? Is it a?
no, Anthony Edwards is projected fourth of the Bulls in this one. This is a recent ESPN mock
Who they
draft.
who they got first? Edwards was first on a lot of the stuff I was
Yeah,
watching.
Anthony Edwards is first in line. I mean, they have LaMelo, Wiseman, Edwards. I think like the top three. Kongwu and Halliburton. But there's just so many unknowns. We don't know these guys. Haven't got to see these guys play. So it's not that these guys are just going to be bums. These guys, this class could be better than this year's class. We don't know. This class this year were just so many guys who shined, and people forget their car games at an all-time high. So guys like Kobe White, I love Kobe White. However, he shot like 39% from the floor. They won like 20 games. He was irrelevant. But due to the card game and people, all the hypothetics, like, oh, I think Kobe White will be a, great player. So there's a lot of hype around him, not really due to their success or whatever in the NBA. It's just, the card game has brought all this hype. So, you go back to 17, 18, card game wasn't that hot yet. There's a lot of guys who, we really didn't know about. And now we don't know this class that well. But this year is an all-time high, so this year's class looks to be like the best in the last decade. But what I mean? It's just because all the hype. The guys like Kobe White, Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, RJ, these guys could be nobodies. Brandon Clark, a bunch of guys are high on Baisley because he played decent in the bubble. He could be, out of the league in 2 years. But the card game brings all these guys and all their opinions and what we just said. We're playing the game. We're picking some guys. We believe that Bagley could be out of the league in 3 years. But all the hype around the card game makes these players relevant or their names relevant. So we haven't got to see these guys yet, but we'll see soon enough. It's just too many unknowns right now to really speak about because we just haven't got to see these guys.
Another thing to think about, another variable to it all is like they haven't played since what, January, February, so like almost a year, and they're gonna have, if the draft is what, late in the last week of November, is 2 weeks from now,
It's coming up.
and then they start on the 22nd, like they're going to be thrown into the mix immediately, especially the top picks who are going to be starting and stuff. Like they're literally going to be thrown right into the fire, so that they don't get a summer league, they don't get summer training camp, none of that. So they're like they're almost like an experimental draft class. Like no draft class has ever been like this. And then the whole league is kind of shifting a little bit. Like there's even rumors they're going to do these play-in games. I don't know if that's official either, but I guess that play-in game concept was pretty popular. So we may even see a change to the playoff structure. Like there could be a lot of changes. It's going to be an exciting season. I'm just ready for it to get going. I'm ready for some like solid news, some trades. Like what was that trade that was in our group chat earlier? The Suns was reaching out for somebody.
Yeah, the Suns were who was it? It
Chris
was
Paul.
Chris Paul, yeah, Chris Paul,
Yeah,
the Suns.
him and Booker. Ooh.
So, there's this next 2 weeks you'll see a lot of stuff going on, a lot of rumors, and that stuff will truly, reflect in the card prices, which seems funny because these guys aren't even they're on the couch, they're not even playing right now. But rumor mills and news and just articles
Hype and
will
speculation.
hype and speculation really does do it.
Look at the
Um,
baseball market. These dudes sell for ridiculous amounts and never even swung a bat in the in the majors. Like,
Jason Dominguez.
yeah, so hype and speculation are huge.
Um, Now, one thing, so 2020 was a year to remember. I mean, a lot of tragedy, a lot of great things happened as well. But the card game is really at an all-time high. COVID already explained in episode one how it had a huge role in making the card game this exciting and the demand at all-time high. But some people believe it'll be, just a little 6 month, 8 month thing. 2021, we're going to see some stuff. And I mean, my personal opinion is it's going to keep growing in 20. Now, this isn't going to be, 20 years of an all time high. It's not going to happen. Nothing happens like that. However, I don't see it going away anytime soon or dying down. I think 2021 is going to keep raising because now we get to see these guys, like I said, Luka, Trey, Tatum, Zion, Jaw, all these guys start playing meaningful games. Zion and Jaw haven't made the playoffs yet. Trey Young hasn't made the playoffs. All his rookies this year haven't really made the playoffs. De'Aaron Fox hasn't been in the playoffs.
And the one that did, Luka, look what happened to his prices. He got one chance to shine and went crazy and permanently raised his floor in the culture. So
it's going to be really exciting. I think 2021 is going to keep blowing up because the more people recognize, the money there is to be made and the excitement and fun it is, it's going to keep going. And guys like Gary Vee and all these guys who keep talking about it and keep investing hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, it's going to keep going. I could be wrong, but I don't see it slowing down in 2021. Now, if it were to die down, I think everything has like a 3 to 5 year window. So by 2023, 2025, I won't be surprised if it's not the same. But this next year, this next calendar year, next 12 months, I think it's going to keep on raising and keep on just blowing, stuff out the window. Like, I thought the peak was a few months ago, and here we are. We're still going. So it's gonna be exciting.
And even if this draft class isn't the craziest draft class, and they don't have some Zion like talent that the NBA is putting all this money into marketing and pushing, you have Zion and Ja second year cards. So they're still going to be pushing Zion. You'll see on Panini's Instagram Zion second year stuff for the new products that he's not even a rookie for. So, they'll keep the prices afloat a little bit, just like Trey and Luka's stuff this year is still hot. Like, I mean, insanely hot. Even though, like, Trey hasn't really done, I mean, he had a great season and all that, but, it's not, yeah, like, it's not based on, like, accomplishments, but just playing well consistently, people will take notice for sure. Like,
even if this draft class is, mediocre, it doesn't matter. We still have, the last 3 year draft class of the guys who are, still on the rise and makes stardom. Like I said, Tatum, Fox, all these guys, Luka, Trey, Zion, Ja, etc. All these guys are still playing. So, like, there's plenty of their rookie cards out there. There's no, I mean, the print run's crazy. So, plenty of cards you can buy, get them graded. So, the game's still to be played. Even if you don't buy one rookie card this year, there's still plenty of avenues you can explore and play the game without even dabbling in this year's rookie class. It's really going. There's so many things you can do. I mean, even Giannis, you can buy older stuff. You can buy vintage, pre-80 stuff, 1980 stuff. Like, so many things you can do. It's not, the market isn't relying on this draft class to hold it up. So don't get that twisted. This year's draft class, they could be mediocre. They could be like, I think 15, 16 or 14, 15. It doesn't matter because these last 3 years, they're going to keep it afloat. Like, I'm not worried about that at all.
And another left field factor that I'm just personally experiencing, not only at these shows, but I see it online and I see it, on the groups and stuff. But the youth is really into this culture, into cards in general. Like, these last couple card shows, especially this last one, there was at least 10 to 15 dads with their kids in there. Like, I'm talking dad and 2 sons, dad and 3 sons. All of them's buying their favorite teams. Like, I had one family probably spend like $50-$60 between the 3 of them. Like, this kid was collecting all these Magic Johnson, not Orlando Magic, Magic Johnson Lakers cards, and this kid wanted LeBron's. And they were Laker fans, but they were different player Laker fans. Like, it's cool to see stuff like that, and they're bringing the sports, they're bringing the Pokemon into it. as they collect and get into it, they'll take it to heights on their own. Like if the rookie class isn't good, some other part of the market's getting hot, but the card market itself is too big. Like it's not like the rookies don't really matter. You just got to find out where the money is because it's gonna be somewhere. There's money in it.
For sure. Like I said, there's endless avenues you can explore and play with. So, I mean, I think this draft class is going to surprise a lot of guys. So many guys are just talking bad about it because we don't know. And when we don't know stuff as a society, we just tend to like say it's trash or whatever because we truly don't know. So,
And that could be an opportunity. So if you watch college ball or if you one of your teams draft one of these players and you think they are playing well, like don't be afraid to get something if you see it on the low.
for sure, there's going to be a lot of hidden opportunity this year's draft class because there's so many unknowns. So, it's going to be exciting. And these next 2-3 weeks is going to be great. It's going to be a great time as a fan of the NBA and as a fan of basketball and as a sports card enthusiast, I guess you want to say. It's just such an exciting time. I can't wait.
Yeah, as someone that doesn't care about football, I can't wait for basketball to come back. Like, I'm ready for it.
He's a fake Drew Lock fan.
Listen,
A fake Drew Lock fan.
I'm a fake Tua fan too. He just believes in me. You know what I mean? He's a fan of me, really. I'm gonna sign this and send it to him. This is on eBay and it ends in like 2 days. Somebody sees this probably like the day it's ending.
Is it an auction?
Yeah.
What's it up to?
I think it told me to put the starting bid at like 547. So I was like, all right, they're selling for like 7, but there's no bids yet. But there's like 27 watchers or something just sitting there waiting like for the last day to pull the trigger.
You'll get some action here soon.
Oh yeah.
Two things I want to say is we have Stepback Sports t-shirts. If you're not in the group on Facebook, so listen, if you're watching this, please subscribe, click the like button for us. We're doing a giveaway for everyone who consistently likes and subscribes to our videos. And if you share them on your Facebook, you get an extra entry in the giveaway. So that's one way to win a $100 giveaway is share, like, and subscribe to this video and every video we post. Another thing, we have t-shirts, which I don't have one over here, but
I'm bringing it up on my screen so I can see it.
All right. So we have t-shirts, and I think we have like 25 left. And if you buy a t-shirt for $18 to $20, depending on the size, and you post a picture of you wearing the t-shirt on Facebook and shout us out as a group, you get entered into the $100 giveaway. So we're giving away $100 for just doing very simple things, helping us grow and network, meet new people. So we really appreciate it. Like I said, this is our second episode. We don't have any fancy equipment. He has a nice mic, but I'm just sitting in my man cave with my MacBook and just talking and having a good time, informing, educating, and we'll be having guests on maybe the next episode or the episode after. So we're really excited to keep the ball rolling.
We want to draft?
Yeah, we can do a draft. One other announcement I have is we do group subs, and if you're not in the group and you're just watching this from YouTube or whatever, go join the group, man. Find me on Facebook, Cody Morris. Find the group Stepback Sports. We're doing a Beckett sub within a month. So it used to be called a 10-day submission. They just recently changed it due to it not taking 10 days anymore. So I'll be doing that within a month or so. Like I told you, I'm sending in some big boys. I'm sending in some monsters, my Giannis's and my Tatums. I'm sending all these boys in. Hopefully get some true gems or some 10s on those thick cards. But yeah, so that's my 3 announcements. I'll let Justin finish.
The links to our pages will be in the description of this YouTube video. Maybe not every single one of them, but at least like the YouTube, Instagram, stuff like that. And if you go to our page on Facebook or one of our pages, you can find the rest of the info for the socials. But yeah, everything else that's going on. Eventually, I have us a website like half built. I'm just not ready to pull the trigger on it yet. Probably like top of the year maybe. But yeah, all that'll be coming soon. We'll keep y'all posted on it. What we drafting?
So today's draft, what we're going to do is we're going to draft guys, young players. So that means 2017 rookies to this year's rookies. We're going to build ourselves a starting 5. And this will be my 5 versus your 5, also hypothetical. We can honestly do this on 2K and play and see who wins. And we're not going to do any rookies. I'm not going to say exclude the top 5 or exclude the top 10, because there's guys like Tyler Hero who's drafted 13th, and he is already at an all-time high hype. So we're going to do guys who are kind of under the radar as far as haven't reached that stardom level or that super spiked of hype yet. So we'll just go 5 players, and we're going to try to do a starting 5. So you can have whatever. We're not going to draft 5 point guards, but not you don't have to have a traditional center power forward, because that's 8 years ago in the NBA anyway. Now it's just a players league. But you want to go first? You want me to go first?
So this is our first pick, and it's outside the top 5. So I'm just looking here.
I mean, not really outside top 5, but you can't draft Hero. You're not going to draft guys like.
So like Bam Adebayo, is that someone?
No, he doesn't count. Yeah, because he's
he's too good.
Yeah, like we're just going to draft guys who haven't hit a spike of like hype yet. Bam got a triple double in the finals.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, like Fultz can be your first pick because he hasn't really done anything yet.
Nah, he's excluded. He got a triple double on LeBron's head. I can't pick him. He's too nice. Okay, go ahead and do your first pick. Yeah, I'm looking at some list of rookies here and trying to decide who I think's not top 5. Like,
I mean, just really, not really any great rookies. So my first pick.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
My first pick is I'm going to go back to I think it's a 2017, 2018 draft. Drafted number 19th out of a Wake Forest. Didn't really have too much hype with him. He's on a team I believe in. He's a big who can stretch the floor. He just showed spurts of greatness last year. I'm going John Collins, my first pick. John Collins,
eh? Well, first pick, I'm going big. I'm going defense. I'm going to take Mitchell Robinson.
That's a good pick. That was my next pick, honestly.
Personally, like on 2K, so much fun to use. I have a couple of his cards. I actually have his Silver Prism rookie card, and I like him. So yeah, I'm taking him. He's a team leader. I want that kind of defensive aggression on my team.
I thought you were going to take someone else first, but I'm not going to take him because I think he's going to be on your team. But
yeah, I got a big team. If that's what you're thinking.
No, I was thinking Devontae Graham.
Oh, go ahead, take him. Is that your next pick?
No, I'm gonna go big again. And this is another guy who he shows spurts of playing really well. He just can't stay healthy, and I'm gonna go Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter Jr. is he's my 5, and John Collins is my 4. So I got 2 athletic bigs. Wendell can't really shoot as well, but John can shoot. They're both can run the floor, block shots, super athletic. I'm going Wendell Carter at my 5.
Wendell Carter. Well, I guess I will go ahead and take Devontae Graham since you brought him up. I mean, I don't think he's plateaued or peaked by any means, and if you search on YouTube, you can find Kevin Durant giving him some props, saying that's another young player he's excited about. So that makes me comfortable because I consider KD to have a good basketball mind, especially offensively. So, yeah, I'll take Devontae, second pick.
Devontae Graham is your second pick. So you got a starting point guard. I've been looking. I don't really see any guards that I think are eligible to be drafted that I really like besides Devontae Graham.
Marcus Page is in the 17-18 draft. I was looking at it. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, this is based on NBA. And
this is the NBA draft I'm looking at. He's on there.
I believe in them, the NBA career.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm going to be a little biased right here. This guy played really well in the bubble. Once again, showed, spurts of him playing really well. And they went undefeated in the bubble. I'm going to go a guy 6'8", 6'9", stretch the floor at my 3-guard position. I'm going to go Cam Johnson.
Cam Johnson.
I mean, he played well in the bubble. I mean, he shot really well. He's super, athletic and long. So I'm going to have a real tall team. Cam Johnson at my 3. And he was playing the stretch 4 for the Suns, so I'm putting him at the 3.
Well, I'm going to take a high-risk pick and take injury-prone Jonathan Isaacs, Judah, the Lion. And he's going to be Defensive Player of the Year at some point if he can ever stay healthy. So, I mean, he definitely hasn't peaked. He's a monster. Like, I believe he's like a very important piece to our future. So, yeah, I'm taking him all day. I don't care if he only has one leg. He's still better than a lot of the players that I'm looking at on these lists.
You have
And defense-wise, we're tough. I don't know how good
Allen.
Devontae is, but J.I. and Mitch, that's a tough two.
You know, we'll see if your team can put the ball in the basket or not. My next pick, I'm looking for a point guard and a shooting guard. I think I'm stuck around my 2 guard. I'm trying to find a guy who isn't like, really, really good yet. A guy who's showed, has played pretty well recently. And I think he can be pretty solid in the NBA. I have a lot of his stuff, which I think I talked about earlier or episode 1. I'm going to put him at my 2 guard. He was the 30th pick of the draft. So he was the very last pick of the first round. I'm going to go Kevin Porter Jr. at my shooting guard.
Okay. KPJ. My Jonathan Isaac is my small forward. Mitch is my center. And Mo Bamba will be my starting 4 because I have the tallest, most defensive Orlando Magic type of team, and Mitch and Mo can both stretch the floor. They're like 2 Brook Lopez's, you know what I mean? Except younger, more athletic, and better and faster. And with Devontae running it, I just need one more piece. J.I. holding it down as small forward. That's a problem. Now I got to pick a guard.
You have Devontae at point, J.I. 3, Mo Bamba 4, and Mitch at 5.
Yeah, you don't want to play me on 2K. You might want to take that back.
And I have to find myself a point guard as well. My point guard. This is a tough one. I'm debating.
Yeah, I'm looking at some lists right now. I kind of sort it by position.
I think I'm going to have to go with this guy. He's on the same team as my previous pick. I think I'm going to go Colin Sexton as my starting point guard. I'm really not a big fan of Colin Sexton because he has tunnel vision. And his 3-point game's not great. He's more of a mid-range guy, but my choices are kind of slim here. I'm going to go Colin Sexton as my starting point guard.
Colin Sexton.
And hey, if you don't watch this, comment below. Don't troll. Be honest. Who wins each draft. Don't always pick Justin or always pick me just because who says it. But hey, this is supposed to be for fun. Obviously, it's hypothetical, but just leave some comments below. We really appreciate comments. And if you have any questions you want us to answer, put those in the comments too. We'll do Q&As.
So if he wasn't like such a high draft pick, I'd put RJ as my shooting guard because like he hasn't got to do anything yet. Like he's not in a situation to do anything. But when I look at these lists, like who else in that position? You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and take the hometown kid, Javon Carter, because he fits the defensive scheme I'm going for. He can be a nice shooter. He had that block in the bubble, you know what I mean? He's a hustler. He'll bring that team spirit, and it's going to get me some votes in this draft from all the people who like Javon Carter. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the cheap pop and put him on the squad.
This man took Javon Carter.
Yeah.
I mean, he did play decent in the bubble. I mean, he had like one game where he made 2 shots.
Yeah, that's hard in the NBA. You know how many people wish they even have the opportunity to shoot 2 shots in the NBA?
So I'll break it down. Colin Sexton's my point guard. Kevin Porter Jr. is my 2. Cam Johnson's my 3. John Collins is my 4. And Wendell Carter Jr. is my 5. Justin, break yours down.
Devontae Graham at the point guard. Javon Carter at shooting guard. They might do like a hard and rest thing, swap dribbling duties. We'll see how it goes. Jonathan Judah Isaac at my small forward, defensive player of the year. Mo Bamba, power forward, stretching the floor on either side, blocking everything. If he misses the block, here comes Mitchell Robinson, my 5, blocking from the other side. He's in one corner, Mo's in the other. It's over.
Well, guys, that wraps it up for episode 2. Like I said, we might have a guest on episode 3. Stay tuned for that. You already joined the group. Subscribe, like, share. We have 20-some T-shirts left. Buy those. Post, shout us out. Get entered into a $100 giveaway. So we appreciate it, and we'll see you all next time.